What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I did some affordable niche hauls recently, grabbed a few things from Birkholz and Zerjoff and stuff like that. And I mentioned how, nobody really cares about the niche videos, and which is kind of wild to me because there's some really good affordable niche stuff out there that I'd love to showcase more. And in the comments, several people mentioned they definitely want to see more affordable niche content. Please do more content. So, you know, might not get a lot of views, but shit, here we are. I've got 10 affordable niche fragrances. It's mainly to highlight the brands with personal favorites of mine to highlight from these brands that you can find for around $100 or less, some of them severely less than $100, from discounters online from different places, which I'll have links to provide a few options from YouTube Shopping Network, Joma Shop, Fragrance Net, places like that, Max Aroma, and then potentially Perfume Box, Fragflex, Amazon, places like that in the description. Like I said, it's there for your convenience. You don't have to do any shopping if you don't want to. You can just check out the video, which I appreciate you clicking the video. So let's dive into these 10. See if there's something you find interesting, because I find all 10 of these interesting. Stay tuned. I mentioned Birkholz. This is one of the fragrances from that video. I actually wore it yesterday to church. It was my scent of the day. I look at it as niche boss bottled. It is Birkholz Wild Desires. So it legitimately smells like a more powdery, upscale, higher quality version of Boss Bottled, the original Boss number 6. Kind of a cross in between Boss Bottled and Boss Bottled Intense EDP, because Boss Bottled Intense EDP is a sweeter fragrance than this actually is, but it's still this fruity apples, cinnamon, spicy, woody fragrance. Again, this one's a bit more powdery, more upscale, semi-casual to semi-formal kind of range. I would say are best suited for this, whereas Original Boss Bottled can totally be casual on up to a suit, no problem. I think this eliminates some of the casual aspect of it, because it does come across a little bit more upscale, like I was saying. Quality's great, performance is great. I paid around $93 for this one from Fragflex. I think it was $93. God, it smells so good. Sillage is magnificent on this. This stuff pumps off the skin for many, many hours. And I didn't really go nose blind to it. I could smell myself for like the first, I would say, first 4 hours of this. Like, it never really faded a whole lot. I had 5 sprays around the neck, my usual spray routine, and it just kept going and going and going. Energizer Bunny kind of stuff. So a good solid 4 hours of, really good projection onto really good sillage before it really started to calm down a bit. And then it was, some decent sillage for many, many hours before I took a shower. So definitely a brand worth checking out. They got some really good stuff from this brand. Not everything's going to be in that $100 or less range. Some of the newer stuff won't be, like Corsica, for example. This is like basically plum Millesime Imperial. Plan on wearing that in the next couple of days. That's why it's right there. So totally it's just a German brand. Totally great. Worth checking out, especially if you like Boss Bottled. This one in particular would be great to check out. This is Birkholz Wild Desires. Next, we've got a super easy to wear, versatile vetiver fragrance, mainly highlighting Juliette Has a Gun, because they got a ton of great stuff that you can get well under $100. Some 50 mLs you can get for around $50, some 100 mLs in the $60 to $70, $80 range. But we're talking about X Vetiver from Juliette Has a Gun. This is a great entry level niche, super wearable daily wear fragrance. It's got some citruses, a variety of woods, a little bit of ambroxan and musk to give it kind of that, the ambroxan helps give it a little bit of a push without smelling like shower gel. It kind of enhances the musky note, really, more than anything else. Man, juicy citrus, soapy, a little soapy, but nothing earthy about the vetiver. It's Haitian vetiver, and I want to say maybe Java vetiver or something like that. There's a couple woody notes and multiple vetivers. Beautiful fragrance. Bergamot and maybe lemon, or bergamot and grapefruit, something like that. It's really good. It's really easy to wear, easy to like, goes with everything. It's not a monster performer, but it's very refreshing. It's very attractive. Those that enjoy fresh fragrances, this is really easy to dive into. Is just the one you put on the corner of the dresser. You pop the cap, you throw however many sprays on every day, and you go on about your day. It's one of those do-it-all, dumb reach kind of fragrances where you don't even have to think about it. You're wearing this every day. You know you're going to smell good. Ego Stratus, a blueberry aquatic. If you like Iris, Lipstick Fever, Moscow Mule. There's so many. They have a couple oud fragrances. Musk Invisible's a very clean, laundered, like powdery cotton blanket kind of feel. Like they got so many really good ones that are pretty easy to wear for the most part, and they have some variety, and they're relatively affordable. They're very entry-level niche, I find. So one that's a really good starting point, I think, would be Vetiver from Juliette Has a Gun. Now, the brand Nishane has some hitters, and if you're cool with getting 50 mLs, you can get a lot of their fragrances around $100. A lot of really good offerings. Some of them much more. It depends, you know. But the Colognise line, you can get all three of them for under $100. The Nishane Colognise, the original, you can find for $60 to $70 from most places. But the best of the bunch, in my opinion, is hands down Safran Colognise. This one's going to be the closest to the $100 price point. You can find this one anywhere from like $75 to $95. Anywhere in that price range is a phenomenal buy. So this is a warm weather leather is the way I always like to describe it. It's bright citron and saffron, so it's a warm, spicy, super juicy lemon citrus kind of smell with a fuzzy suede, dries down into a slightly fresh and somewhat earthy vetiver, which is what this particular line is based around vetiver. God, it is just so good. Such a unique fragrance, a really good performer. The quality here is really good. It offers a lot of versatility while being pretty unique. I think you can pull this off for just about anything, but it's still quite unique. I have nothing else that smells like this in my collection, and it's a sub $100 niche fragrance. Definitely one that had to be in this video. It's kind of the poster child for this particular topic, if I'm being completely honest here. I like how they list it as an extrait de cologne, because it's a pure parfum, extrait de parfum, but it's fresh like an eau de cologne, so an extrait de cologne. Very clever. And for those of you wondering how can you tell what the name of it is, they usually print the names on the sides. Yeah, it says Saffron. So there you go. So this one, highly, highly recommend. I almost gave this one a 10. This is 9.5 out of 10 kind of stuff from me. This is Safran Colognise from Nishane. Citrus green, aquatic, a little floral, very aromatic. Kind of gives a little bit of an aromatic, like a modern aromatic Fougeres kind of feel. Even has a little bit of ambroxan. You can find Jacques Fath fragrances for a really good price, especially places like Fragrance Net when they have them in stock. They run clearances sometimes. One I would highly recommend that's super versatile. Probably a great starting point from them would be Verlassou. This is a 50 ml. I actually think this one came from Fragrance Net, if I remember correctly. But this one, it's very masculine. Like I said, it's a little bit of fig leaf. Like there's a lot of interesting notes in here, and it doesn't distinctively smell like fig, but you get a little bit of this like slightly woodier fig smell. A little touch of bitterness, like I said, juicy citrus. It's bright and aromatic. Get a nice clean musk. Little hints of spice, a deep woody smell to it. It's really good. It's really good. It's kind of that old school feel with some more modern elements to it. Like I said, ambroxan, fig leaf being used. That's something that gets used a lot more these days. Beautiful fragrance. Beautiful brand, really. Carasso Bay, Bel Ambre, Velours Boissé, kind of niche, Bentley for Men Intense. They got some good stuff. And again, I think the versatility of this one, with the quality and the performance and the price, makes it a great option, is Jacques Fath's Verlassou. A phenomenal brand to consider is Acqua de Parma. And their Blue Mediterranean line specifically has some home run fresh fragrances, and one that I strongly recommend you check out is Mandarino di Sicilia. Yes, there's other citruses, but it's all about this orange, blood orange combo. Mint and petitgrain, bright fresh green smell, clean musk, soft woods. The mintiness here gives, with the blood orange, gives that orange citrus kind of a little bit of a bite, a bit of an edge to it. Performance is in that average range, but this is a freshie with some character, a little bit of depth for kind of coming across as simplistic when you look at the notes. It's actually a little bit deeper overall. At least the character profile feels deeper, even if it's not necessarily all that complex. It feels like it has depth to it. It's got a richness to it for being so juicy fresh. This is a beautiful fragrance that you can get for around like $70-ish. I believe this is 100 ml. Yeah, like a $70-ish range is what I want to say I paid. $70, maybe $80, something like that. Very affordable. This might be your new favorite freshie. The quality here is really good. A lot of photorealistic citrus notes here. Like I said, that fresh green petitgrain mixed with spearmint gives this bright green freshness to this fragrance. It's really, really good stuff. And this brand and this line in particular offers a lot of variety if you like quality fresh fragrances for a good price. It's Acqua de Parma's Blue Mediterranean Mandarino di Sicilia. Kind of a classic from this brand. This brand in particular, most of their fragrances you can find for under $100, well under. Fragrances like You or Someone Like You are very, very popular, but we got a lot of other fresh green citrus vetiver fragrances in this video. So one that I would like to highlight that's always been popular from them is Remarkable People. Champagne. Champagne, grapefruit, citrus. It gives this kind of this aromatic, juicy feel without being boozy. A little bit of the bubbly with the champagne. And it's nice musky. A little bit of curry in here. Now, I don't distinctively smell curry, the food, the flavoring. I don't distinctively smell it, but I'm sure it's blending in to make this kind of unique smell that this one has. There's a little bit of spiciness to it for being a juicy, fresh, aromatic fragrance. That's quite unique, perfectly unisex. It's like very straightforward. The notes look extremely unique. When you smell it, it's kind of easy to understand. It's pretty easy to wear. It's very versatile. But at the same time, it's kind of pretty unique at the same, it's a weird combination of notes and it doesn't smell like a weird aroma. So it's actually quite remarkable. Appropriately named. This is a beautiful fragrance. Again, they have several really good ones. They got several crazy artistic ones to be wary of. And I'm not just talking Secretions Magnifique. I'm talking they got a lot of like kind of challenging wares, but they got some super easy wares that are still unique, like this one. Definitely a brand worth exploring. You can get their little discovery sets and get like 20 of their fragrances in a sample set. It's incredible, and you can try so much from them. Definitely a brand worth exploring, and definitely a fragrance worth checking out. Etat Libre, Remarkable People. We've got to have a little Mancera and Montale action, which is going to be our next two picks because I just think there's so much variety and value in this brand. One that's really good to start with from Mancera would be Aqua Wood. Not your typical Cedrat Boisé recommendation here, which a lot of you may have expected. But Aqua Wood offers a lot of variety for being aquatic, right? Aqua and wood, both in here. But a little incensey, fresh fruity pear with some zesty orange. Again, salty, aquatic, ambery, smoky. Kind of like a niche Bulgari's Aqua Amara. That was very hyped up many years ago. Quality's a bit better here. Performance is fantastic. Versatility while still having an interesting profile. Not the most unique fragrance on the planet, but again, outside of Aqua Amara, it doesn't really smell like a bunch of other things. This is a blue fragrance that doesn't smell like other blue fragrances. Bottle's fitting for being this color. Again, resinous, balsamic, ambery, has depth, has richness to it. There's a thickness to it. It's a little creamy at a certain point in the life of the fragrance. Really can't go wrong here. There's so many things to explore with Mancera, so it's its own rabbit hole, really. But I think if you're just looking for something you can just rock all the time, this one's easy to like. This is a pretty safe play here. Again, and most of their fragrances can be found in that $70 to $80 range. Some of them in the $100 range if they're newer releases, but this one you can find around $70 to $80. It's Aqua Wood. Right back to the sister brand with Montale. My 90s kids, Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. I don't know how many of you hold it in high regard like I do, but this is basically niche Tommy. It's Montale Fougeres Marine. This was an easy pick. There's a lot of options from this brand I could have picked. This is in the $70 to $80 range for 100 ml as well. 50 ml, you can get like $50-ish. Sometimes you can catch a tester like this one. The testers, this goes through the atomizer head. The full presentations, it's actually a stopper underneath the atomizer that can be pulled. This one, it just stays that way. So this one's a Chypre that's very fresh and aquatic, that gives kind of that fresh green, slightly citrusy, fresh, spicy feel of Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. The openings are pretty accurate. This is a higher quality fragrance with far better performance. Just a great daily wear. It's fresh, green, woodsy, a little spicy. It's a little musky. It's got that 90s feel to it. But again, beastly performance when you compare it to Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. And, not crazy expensive. The quality here is, far superior. It's just a great daily wear fragrance for those that don't want the modern stuff, the typical blues, the sweeter fragrances. You want something that has more of a classy, classic type of vibe as far as masculine daily wear fragrances. Here you go. It's basically a 90s classic reimagined is how I look at it. Again, from Montale, it's Fougeres Marine. Now let's mix it up a little bit. Kajal perfumes. Not all of their fragrances can be found under 100, but some of them you can. I believe Joma Shop is where you can get this one. And for the longest time from the house, this was my favorite until Lamar came around and kind of dethroned it. It's the original Kajal Homme. This one can be had for under 100. This is a phenomenal performer. This is an oud fragrance that you can wear in the dead of heat easily. It's an orange citrus, orange blossom, tonka bean oud fragrance. It's fresh, powdery, woodsy. It's not over the top funky, but it's citrusy. It's got great performance. It's actually a very unique fragrance that I think can be worn daily for a lot of things. It's actually quite versatile considering the profile. And it smells so good. It's been a little while since I've smelled this one myself. It's still one of their best releases. It really is. So much character to this one. The orange blossom's just right. Quality oils here. Phenomenal performance, especially for an eau de parfum, because there's high quality oils here. Some naturals, some really good high quality, high grade synthetics as well. Just the right amount of that kind of slight dry, almost pencil shaving like slight funk from the oud note that they use in here. This is a beautiful fragrance. Quality bottle. This goes a long way. You don't need a lot of sprays. Definitely worth checking the house out, but there are bright spots that you can still get super affordably. Not just affordably, because a lot of their fragrances you can get in that 120 to 150 range, which is still pretty affordable considering, but fragrances like this you can get around 90. And that's kind of a steal for this fragrance, honestly, because it's uniqueness, but super versatile, high quality, phenomenal performing. It's going to be very different from everything else in your collection. It's the original Kajal Homme. A spicy, woody leather fragrance that I think you can get away with wearing all the time. Very interesting fragrance. It's got some weird notes like an oxygen accord and stuff like that. Disregard that. It's mainly about leather, cedar, some frankincense, some violet leaf gives it some freshness. It is from Carner, Barcelona. This is Revolucion. Saffron spice, which also gives it a little bit of a metallic feel up top. So you're getting double duty out of the way the saffron note comes across. It's metallic, it's spicy, it manages to be fresh and aromatic, very leather forward, very woody dominant as it dries. Great performer, high quality stuff. I think this 50 ml, I want to say, is like $70 from discounters online. Man, really good. For being as spicy and leather forward as it is, it's quite fresh and ozonic. Like I said, weird notes, but also violet leaf to give it some freshness. This is such a good fragrance. I haven't worn it in a while myself. I was thinking, Carner Barcelona offers a lot of value. And I was like, I debated on grabbing Fig Man. And I was like, you know what? This deserves to be Fig Man would be great for you fig lovers. It's kind of a soapy fig smell. But for those of you that want something a bit more interesting, that kind of dresses up and down very easily and is very masculine and has a uniqueness to it, that's where this one comes in. And the price is right on this fragrance too. And it's one of their newer releases. I want to say it came out in like 2023, maybe 2024. I want to say 2023 though. And 50 ml goes a long way because this is like a 3 to 4 spray fragrance, and you got plenty of sillage and longevity out of this one. Trust me. It's definitely worth exploring this house and this particular fragrance. It's Carner Barcelona Revolucion. Well, that was the 10. It was to highlight those 10 specific fragrances, but also to highlight those 10 specific brands. Like I said, I'll have links down below if you want to check any of this stuff out. Of course, like I said before, you don't have to buy nothing. I just appreciate you checking out the video. If nothing else, thank you for making it to this point. Make sure to like and subscribe before you leave, and we'll see you on the next one.